we Harry Game Lords would love to tell you about Unmatched Battle of Legends Season 2. Slightly Beardy James here. I've got a brother in Canada, and my brother in Canada brought this over.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness. Unmatched, right, just in itself, incredible game, and I'm sure we are going to fawn all over that today. But this has got 4 new characters and a map inside. So there is Sun Wukong, the shape-shifting monkey trickster. There's Yanenga, the African huntress. There's Bloody Mary, don't say her name 3 times because she'll hunt you down and murder you. And there's Achilles with his friend Patroclus. Now, this game is fantastic, and I'm just going to start off by showing you the map because I'm sure everyone really wants to see the map before anything else. Here is the map. The map has got high points, so you see here in the middle, this has got an advantage over these ones here. And then over here, there's some advantages in height there. On the other side, not a different map, same map, but with subtler colouring. So that in itself is very cool. It's a really nice kind of like map to play on because there's a lot of manoeuvrability and a lot of choke points, a lot of interest that comes from the different height advantages. But we're not here for the map, we're here for the characters. I'm going to tell you about my favourite of these 4. Is he my favourite? This is Sun Wukong. He's just such a cool mini. Now, the thing with this guy is he is all about creating clones of himself. So Sun Wukong, at the start of his go, can pop out one of these next to him. And you can have up to 3 of them. Essentially, spend a health, create another version of you. And these little guys can do exactly what you can do as you're going around. So you can send your clones off to die. They've got 1 hit point. As soon as they hit, they're dead. But they can hit with all of the force of Sun Wukong. Oh, man. Now, Sun Wukong's got 3 different kinds of cards. He's got cards that hit really hard. He's got cards that are really good for defense. And he's got cards that are tricksy. Now, I really like about this that you could come up and absolutely wallop somebody and they get scared of Sun Wukong, and rightly so. But then you bring out the fantastic card Tricked You, Rui Jingo Bang. Now, I can't pronounce it very well, but essentially it does no damage. But if somebody plays a defensive card to match it, then the bottom triggers and he gets a big second hit in there. So I really like how you've got that kind of tricksy nature of him as well. He's an absolute joy to play. Now I'll let the other guys tell you about the other ones, but oh my goodness, what a great game. The other thing about this, different from the base game, is like you saw in that one there, you've got some 2-stage attacks. So you got some where it's a bit of a 1-2 punch. So you got the first initial hit, and then afterwards there's a second hit. A little bit interesting and different because even if they move away from you, you're going to get that second hit in there, but they're going to have a chance to defend against it. So it adds that extra little element. Really, really nice addition. Oh my goodness, what a pleasure to play.
Bearded lady here. Oh my word. I absolutely love Unmatched so much. Up here is... you can't see it, but I'll take a photo and show you. So for me, I have to say this new kind of trend that seems to be happening, that has happened in the expansions, so the smaller box expansions, and then now seeing it in this volume 2. Although this is a really nice looking map, I'm disappointed that it is just 1 map. I don't need to see the background clearer. I want a different map on there. Come on, sort it out. So yeah, I like it where there's 2 maps, and I just think it's a little bit lazy to not put in a second map, to be honest. So I played Yanenga. And What a fantastic... I don't know whether you can see... there she is. Brilliant. What a beast. So this is so good because this character in this box is the only ranged character. Fantastic. So good. So, you know, you've got all of these different kind of like vantage points, and there's some locations that feature 3 of the different locations or zones that people can be in. And if you get her on there, holla, so good. What's also great is she comes with 2 kind of sidekicks, which are archers, and they have a health of 2 each. Now, for me, I felt like it was, I guess my comparison with her was to Robin Hood, who had his outlaws. I think you have 3 outlaws, but those outlaws only have 1 health, which was cool that these had 2 healths. Very nice indeed. And so, again, you've got that, just the beauty of going through your cards and using the archers. Again, what was great is the archers are also ranged, so you can position them into locations where you can effectively have, over the board, a range wherever anyone else is, you can get them. Brilliant. So good. We played this game as a 4-player, so a teamed game, 2 on 2. It was a brilliant match, wasn't it? It was so good and so close. So close. Again, like James has said, her Yanenga's cards also come with a kind of like 2-staged effect. The volley is really cool, so you've got an attack of 3 and then a second attack again of 3. Brilliant. This one was great. I had a card which allowed me to move through my enemies and damage them, and that card helped me complete the game. In fact, I think I killed you both, didn't I? In a couple of, I got a card where I was able to get another action back. It was brilliant. Such a great game. And again, as per usual, the artwork on these cards is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Just amazing artwork throughout the game. The kind of like style, even like the stylized stuff, the back of the cards. Just, this game is awesome. The quality of the cards is brilliant. The quality of the miniatures, and actually in a few of the expansions I've found, some of the miniatures, like the Beowulf and the Robin and the Little Red Riding Hood, the miniatures were a little bit sketchy in those ones, but these are back on true form again. This is a brilliant Volume 2, and as it is, it's a standalone, so even if you don't have any of the other Unmatched, you can get Volume 2, you can play it as on itself, or you can involve it into all of the other Unmatched that are going on. Brilliant stuff. I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to play more of this.
Right, Pete the Hipster King with my turn to give my thoughts on Unmatched Volume 2. Right out of the bat, unsurprisingly, I think you're probably picking up from the group, we love this battle system. It's so good. We've played a fair few skirmish type games. This is the one that we've all got copies of, and at the end of the night, if you know, shall we just? Oh, go on then. It's that kind of a game, and I don't think I've played a game that hasn't been ridiculously close.
Yeah.
Which I don't know whether that is the norm, but it's the norm here that we are. I played a game with James, and it was down to the last. But basically, we were both within one shot of killing each other, and it was down to who was going to be able to turn that and get the right set of cards out. And similarly, in the 4-player game, yes, Ange did beat us on that last turn. I had in my hand a 7 damage card, ready to play, and was within my move and strike. I had set up my finish move on him, but he had already got a finish move ready, which I just didn't know. You just don't know whether they've got or not. So, a couple of bits about the characters that I've played. 2 characters then. I have played as, let's find her, Bloody Mary. Here she is. And we'll look at obviously, the whole thing of Bloody Mary and the mirror. I think she's the most different of any of the Unmatched characters I think I've played as. And it took me a fair while to get into how I was going. I felt like I was really, really doing a bad job. I was teamed up with James, and I just thought, this is just so unfair on James that I'm. But because what you've got with Bloody Mary, everything is about threes. Because of course you say her name 3 times in the mirror, and she's after you. So for a start, you get 3 moves. And the key thing with this, the special ability, and I really, really like this, is at the start of your turn, if you've got 3 cards in hand, you gain 1 extra action. But everybody knows that. So it is about trying to work out at the end of your turn, how many cards are you going to hold on to in your hand, knowing that people are probably going to attack you and you're going to be playing some of those cards. And they know that they want that you want to have 3 because that'll give you an extra action. So they're going to be eyeing up when and where to attack you as well. But within the deck, there are cards that if you play them in defence, you get to redraw and things like that. There are some cards that allow you to keep, during your attacks and defences, you are able to keep your hands at around that magic number of 3. And there are some stunning cards in some of the really big hitting cards that I really enjoyed. Here we go. Bloody Mary. Speak 3 times. During combat, if this is your 3rd action this turn, the value of this card is 7 instead of a 3. You know, that timed right is enough to often kill off an opponent. You've also got the double the sort of double attacks in here as well, and some really nice what they call scheme cards in there as well that allow you to regain health and stuff like that. Because you don't have any additional sidekicks in this if you're playing as Bloody Mary. So a really different puzzle in terms of playing as Bloody Mary. The other person I played as was Achilles. A classic heel.
Hey.
Achilles, I guess, arguably is pretty much the tank. Would be the closest. Well, tank / berserker. I don't know. He goes. I don't know what is beast mode. Basically, he has got his little friend Patroclus, who's his sidekick, and I think Patroclus Patroclus got a health of 6. So Patroclus is a pretty strong. So he's one of those sort of fairly strong sidekicks. He can take a fair bit of damage. And the thing with when I played as Achilles, the beauty with the key in this game is to work out when to let Patroclus die. Because the minute that Patroclus is removed from the game, all of your attacks as Achilles are +2 damage. Yeah.
You get more cards as well.
And you get more cards. So but you are then totally exposed. You haven't got your sidekick to take damage for you. So it is a really careful balance as to how long you keep him in the game for versus allowing him to take that final hit. A lot of Achilles cards, a lot of Patroclus's cards, when you play the attack, you can also take damage yourself. So you can actually, in essence, bring on that end as soon as you want. So it's encouraging you to do it, but I think the whole point of this is trying to keep Patroclus alive enough that you maintain your health enough to then switch and go beast mode. So another really nice puzzle that they've added in. So these are 4 very different characters that add a huge amount to the game. I would love to then take these back to some of those classic, some of the season 1 characters or any of the expansions. I mean, who wouldn't like seeing Sherlock Holmes going up against Bloody Mary? With Bigfoot, for goodness sake. I mean, this is the beauty of this system they have kept, as far as I'm aware, that wherever we've played it, whoever we've played, and whatever combinations we've played, there is balance. It always comes down to the wire. So you don't, but the swings are huge at times. You can feel like, I think James and I, when we played that 4-player game, we felt probably 2 or 3 turns from the end, we were clinging on to about 1 or 2 health. And Martin and Ange had got a lot of health in the game still. But through some careful moves, I'll be honest, probably a couple of lucky draws. But that's the thing, they'd had a lot of lucky draws to start with. A lot of our big cards were lower down in our deck. That's just where they were. They started coming out. We were able to do some real damage, and we got rid of Martin, and then it was the 2 of us against Ange. But he had got that range attack, which was so much more powerful in some respects, and so good. If you haven't checked it out, definitely buy one of these games if you can. If you like the sound of a skirmish game that is really simple to play, has got because you're just playing cards and reading and telling them what they it's not a high-end game, but there's so much potential for strategy in this. You can change things up so much, and every game we've had has been brilliant. Massive thumbs up from all the hairy game lords. Like and subscribe!